Welcome back to Courageous Entrepreneur Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Rollan Roberts. I'm taking your calls live every Thursday at noon, 407-916-5400. But now it is time for Boardroom Battles. Now, why I like Boardroom Battles, when I was CEO of the Hoverboard company, there were 3 days. We were dealing with over 300 Chinese manufacturers knocking off our products. I wake up every day to Google alerts. We're banned from this airline, this campus, this school, this university, all kinds of problems. We got YouTube videos going viral, things catching fire, not ours, on CNBC, MSNBC, whatever it is. We locked ourselves in a room in the boardroom for 3 days, and we weren't coming out until we had answers. And it got, let's say, heated. It got loud. And because we passionately believed in in the different solutions and the answers. And so we ended up they moved the boardroom so that I think it was scaring people in the front office. And so literally they had to move it after day one. But look, this is Boardroom Battles. I want you to take the gloves off. If you've got something you want to contribute to the conversation, give us a call. But I want you guys to chime in here. The first thing that I want us to debate is Nike's Just Do It campaign, obviously, this week with Colin Kaepernick. The stats I've seen, it generated $43 million in free advertising day one for Nike. But I also understand that they lost $3.75 billion in stock value. And so I've got some opinions on this, but I want to hear you all. Now, look, you got to understand this. We are in the boardroom, okay? This is not the public court of opinion here. This is the boardroom. You are on the board of Nike, okay? And you're debating, do you do this or do you don't do this? All right, go. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so just listen to what he said. Believe in something, even if it means sacrifice everything. So does that mean we can believe in anything?
Tooth fairies, yes.
Yeah, I believe in something. So basically validating every single belief that there could possibly be on the planet, and that's okay. And let's also remember how all this started. He was protesting the police. Like and our flag. How did this all come back to? Like, I don't get it. I'm Nike. Okay, if I'm in the boardroom Nike, I'm like, hey, we produce sportsmen for all around the world, right? What does that have to do with him throwing a football?
So what's the point then? Why are they obviously awareness, brand awareness, positive or negative? They don't care. But how is that relating? Was the goal awareness, or obviously not sales, or are they expecting a group that is not currently purchasing to start purchasing?
Well, I'm not in the board. Yeah, I mean, we're not in the board.
You are right now. Absolutely, you are.
I don't know those people. I don't know.
What would you do? You're on the board of Nike, and you're looking at this from a business decision, and you're saying, how does this hurt the company? Take out even what you think. Does it hurt or help Nike?
Well, short term, obviously, they're looking at the numbers that this is going to help because they're going to create a frenzy, right? They did. They already created a frenzy. Now what's going to happen is they're going to take the hit, right? We know how the market rebounds. Yeah. So I don't know what they're saying in the board, but it could be like, okay, we're going to take our hit because we know we're going to take a hit. Half the country would be opposed to this. Right. But eventually it's all going to come back. People are going to buy on the down, right? Yeah. And our stock will come back. Yeah. In the meantime, we've got all this positive frenzy. I mean,
I've brought companies back from atrocious stock price drops. So it went consumers have a short memory. I mean, exactly. Tylenol.
Investors have a short memory.
And
right?
Yes. And Tylenol, I mean, look back in the 70s and 80s when there were deaths. But we still take Tylenol. We don't even think about it today.
Right. Yeah. This is the heartbeat of. I'm gonna read to you what Taya Kyle said. Okay. She's the wife of the sniper, the guy in the movie, right? Yes. Chris Kyle. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so do a so she said, Nike, I love your gear. Okay. Look, we all love Nike. I got Nike sneakers. Okay. Well, I did. Okay. But you exhaust my spirit on this one. And she basically said it's an insult to the very concept of sacrifice. What are you really sacrificing? Sacrifice a career, a multi-million-dollar career. Do we really have compassion for this man who says, I've sacrificed everything? Has he really sacrificed everything? And we talk about, you mentioned before, I lost a son and yes. She lost a husband. And, how does that compare? Like,
if you want to talk loss, if you want to talk sacrifice, talk about how old was your son?
He was 8.
When he was diagnosed?
When he was 3, he was diagnosed, 8 when he died.
With?
Leukemia.
Go and share,
leukemia. 5 years of battling, not knowing. Basically, your world stops. When you go through something like this, your world stops. Everybody else's life goes on, and your world stops. When Tara lost her husband, it was an upheaval in her entire life that you never recover from. Now, by God's grace, there's healing, and you can continue on and be a ministry to other people. But what's the real sacrifice here? That's what if I'm in the boardroom, I want to know, what are we saying? What's the real sacrifice? Yeah. And I think that's the question. I think that's what she's asking. That's what she wrote this on Instagram. Yeah. What is really the sacrifice here? And if I'm on the Nike board, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared because I'm saying there's a sacrifice here. The rest of the world is saying, what sacrifice? You've got to be kidding me.
Well, it's clearly when companies engage in social ideas or political ideas, and they take a hard stance. Chick-fil-A did it, right? They've done it. And it's not just a strategy. It's not just a tactic. It's who they are, right? So they're not doing it so that cars will wrap around, the stores 3 times. And I think Nike is doing the same thing. They're out of Portland is. I mean, we know what they stand for, and if you start looking at what internal companies stand for, you'll find a lot of things that could be concerning for a lot of different companies based on whatever our morals, ethics, or values are. But whenever you intentionally do that, I view it as it was, I would have, if I had you on the marketing side, CMO, I'm CEO of Nike, you're the CMO, your operations over here or investor relations, you're going, look, man, I can create $100 million in free buzz for us. We're going to be the talk of everything for the next week, including Courageous Entrepreneur Radio. And then you're going to be going, you're going to make me spend the next 3 years of my life recovering from this stock price drop of billions of dollars. How bad do you want this? Is $100 million worth of $3 billion, $4 billion? And the truth of the matter is you will come back. And the difference is, what market are you trying to attract? What line in the sand are you drawing? What statement are you making? Who are we? It comes back to, who are we going to be? And you may make the decision, you can't be a part of this team. You can't be a part of this board because this is who we are. You've ignored it for a long time, and now you go find something else. But the ironic thing, the reason why it takes 3 days to fight in a boardroom about this is because somebody's leaving at the end of it. Right. We're not all staying at this company. Somebody's leaving. And how much do you believe in what you are speaking? But it always comes down to values. And I cannot convince you to change your values. You attract who you are, not who you want. And so when companies make this kind of a line and movement, regardless of whether it's a Chick-fil-A or a Nike, there will be a cost, and the cost may be getting more of their customers. I don't see that happening for Nike. I don't see them getting even more of who they're really wanting, but time will tell. So next week we've got all kinds of. I've got a few other companies. We got one topic barely mentioned here. I want to give you guys both about 20 seconds. Some closing thoughts, and especially your books, how people can find you and reach out to you.
Okay, sure. Gene Fideli, and our company is Open Box Creative Solutions. It's a marketing, consulting, and execution company where we help businesses grow their business and align their marketing strategies with their business goals. We help them build a foundation in the marketing, or rebuild a foundation sometimes, which is what I'm really discovering. But really, it's also about building great businesses for a greater purpose. Our C12 director, Bob Schall, always reminds us that's really what our businesses are about. They're owned by God first, and we're just the stewards. And I try to bring that into the businesses that I work with. Website technology, which I mentioned earlier, we're helping to transform transform the connected world through disruptive software. And that's going to be really awesome.
Awesome. Brandon?
Yeah, so Brandon Shaneyfell, and I think one thing that I can connect with is, it's ironically the intro, all the questions asked, are you struggling with this, time management, payroll? So that's like kind of my recent, life as, 25 years old. So you can always reach out to me on any of the Unity platforms and just ask me any of these questions similar to that, and I'll be there for you.
I loved all of our times that we've been able to visit and answer these questions without a doubt. Join me on my next all-inclusive 3-day, 2-night faith-based CEO cruise, October 7th through the 9th. It's just $49. The creator of the McDonald's Happy Meal will be on there. I'll be on there. Peter Lowe will be on there. Have other countries flying in for it. It's at ceocruise.com. Use the the discount code Courageous. I want you to partner with me. $9 a month. You can be a part of my Courageous Circle. You can learn more about that at courageousradio.com. I'd like to welcome my new members this week, Dr. Ken Waningu from Nairobi, Kenya, Kelvin McCree from Lakeland, Florida, Lynn Benway from Peoria, Illinois, Alonzo Simmons from Orlando, Florida. Thank you for joining the Courageous Circle, and welcome to it. I couldn't do it without your support. And everyone always ends up in Orlando, Florida. So if you're here, come see me tonight at Tom Coast Tavern on Sand Lake and Turkey Lake at 7 p.m. Pull up a chair. We'll continue this conversation. I'll be taking your calls, growing your businesses, and creating breakthroughs again next Thursday at noon Eastern Time. You've been listening to Courageous Entrepreneur Radio. I'm Dr. Rollan Roberts, encouraging you to live your faith in business.